Well, the official Tesla Optimus X account posted an update out of absolutely nowhere with the caption, "Trying to be useful lately." So on screen now, we're going to play this clip. And just for the record, this bot isn't being remotely operated by a human. So we can see this currently at 1x speed with the caption, "Optimus has been busy learning useful tasks lately." Its end-to-end neural network was trained to sort battery cells. As we can see, it's picking up a battery cell, dropping it into the next available slot. This is a proxy for putting these cells into battery packs. And doing so using only 2D cameras and tactile hands, Optimus balances on its legs while the net drives the entire upper body. Again, this is not being operated by a human. This is doing the task autonomously. Now, obviously, it's not as fast as a high-speed human yet, but curiously, interestingly, it's also not a brain-dead robot. We saw there it misplaced a cell and was able to recover from that error. Now, what we're seeing on screen now are humans training Optimus to manipulate different objects, and now Optimus is currently being tested at one of our factories with a continuously decreasing rate of human interventions. This thing is now already being tested in Tesla factories, and we can see a demonstration now. Optimus walking without any tethers, no support, around a Tesla office. This is incredible progress. Now, obviously, the haters will say, well, it's not perfect. It kind of looks like Joe Biden, who shot himself wobbling around at the moment. But the point is not what we're looking at today, but where this is heading. The rate of progress is absolutely phenomenal. At some point in the relatively near future, we can expect Optimus humanoid robots to be assembling Tesla battery packs and doing other simple tasks in Tesla factories. Unlike autonomous vehicles, where the stakes are literally life and death, it's okay if an Optimus humanoid robot working in a factory fumbles a little bit, drops the odd cell and misses. It can recover. No one's going to die in this event. However, one thing that a lot of people overlook, which is kind of important, as I say, the haters go, look how slow it is. Oh, that's terrible. That's shit, man. Most people working full-time work 5 days a week, 8 hours a shift, 40 hours a week. Now you can argue some people do a bit of overtime, but let's use some really simple numbers to try to understand at what point could a slow-moving humanoid robot actually earn its keep, as we see Tesla's humanoid robot lab with a lot of training. Now, for those who don't know, one of the ways that Optimus learns to do a task is initially through teleoperation. So we're seeing training occur here. But to be clear, and Elon has clarified, right now, for example, this Optimus humanoid robot dropping 4680 cells, one after another, into what is essentially a replica of a small section of a Tesla battery pack, is operating autonomously. So let's get to those numbers. Average human, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 40 hours of labor. Let's say Optimus can work 23 hours a day, plus 1 hour for charging or whatever else. Although, in fairness, you could potentially have them plugged in constantly. But let's just assume 23 hours a day, but 7 days a week. 161 hours of productive labor. Perfectly round number. 4 times the productivity. Meaning, if an Optimus humanoid robot takes 4 times as long to do a task, and a 7-day week, it will get the same amount of tasks done as a human working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, if it's working 23 hours a day, 7 days a week. So the bar is extremely low for when these humanoid robots are actually going to be capable of adding useful labor. But wait, that's not where the story ends. See, you don't need to pay an Optimus humanoid robot a salary. I know, crazy idea, but the labor really is simply the cost of energy plus the initial purchase price of the hardware. So as we can see here, it's not a great use of time for a human to be manually placing cells into a battery pack. Most humans can probably contribute a little bit more in terms of cognition, even physically manipulating objects. This is a very basic, boring, and repetitive task. The kind of thing that if it were my full-time job, I'd probably quickly jump off a bridge. By the way, shout out to a factory job I worked one summer during high school in which I literally wanted to do exactly that. I was engaged in extremely boring, repetitive, monotonous, brain-dead tasks, and it killed me. So a lot of people are probably not anticipating how soon Optimus humanoid robots will actually be contributing useful labor in Tesla factories. I think this is going to happen a lot sooner than most people realize. I mean, 12 months from now or less, we could have Optimus bots in Tesla factories being useful, not a net drag on productivity, but actually contributing in a meaningful manner. And it only gets better from there. Musk has been on a bit of a tear on X following this post from the bot. He has confirmed this is fully autonomous with no human in the loop anywhere. And again, I want to emphasize the fact that the stakes are much lower with a humanoid robot in a factory setting versus an autonomous vehicle. meaning Tesla will not need to be as cautious and slow in pushing Optimus to perform and adding new features and functionality. The worst case, it bumps into a few people, it drops some shit, big deal, no one dies, no one gets injured or permanently disabled. Very different with an autonomous vehicle. I saw a great post from the GOAT, Dave Lee. Optimus development and rollout, I think, will be very different than FSD. Unsupervised FSD is all or nothing. Either a human is driving and supervising, or not. And the stakes are extremely high. As I said earlier, literally life and death. However, Optimus will be tackling useful tasks that aren't life and death tasks, i.e. driving. These tasks will be rather mundane, and Optimus can master the easy ones first and incrementally move to more difficult ones, all the while increasing its utility and value provided. Dave is absolutely on point. And it is important to understand the huge contrast between Optimus and FSD. Until a customer can get in a Tesla vehicle and fall asleep in the back and know they'll safely get to their destination, until that point, Tesla's FSD supervised is useful, but there is a huge barrier to its ultimate utility and functionality and value added. Crossing that chasm is a huge milestone that's going to take a lot of effort. Meanwhile, this is not true with Optimus. As Dave points out, Tesla can continually start with basic tasks, nail those, and incrementally add new features and functionality and value. Whereas with FSD, something that you have to monitor constantly can only add a certain amount of value to customers. And there's really no meaningful increase in its utility until the point where you no longer need to monitor it. Whereas with Optimus, this is not true. There can be consistent incremental improvements in how much value it adds, how useful it is. And because Tesla is literally their own first customer, Tesla will literally have use for Optimus bots on its own production lines, in its own factories and facilities. And once Tesla's demonstrated enough utility from their Optimus humanoid robots in these settings, they'll begin selling to other customers. Most likely, automotive manufacturers and other companies in factory and warehouse settings first. But over time, more and more features will roll out, and eventually Optimus humanoid robots will be able to do essentially everything a human can. Now, a couple of posts from some of the crew actually working on Optimus at Tesla. Quote, over the past couple of months, our awesome manufacturing team has built more bots for us to work on and collect AI data from. We've trained and deployed a neural net allowing Optimus to start doing useful tasks, and this is important, such as picking up battery cells coming down a conveyor and precisely inserting them into a tray. This neural net is running entirely end-to-end, meaning that it only consumes video coming from the bot's 2D cameras, as well as onboard proprioceptive sensors, and produces joints control sequences directly. It runs entirely on the bot's embedded FSD computer, powered by the onboard battery. It is designed such that a single neural net can perform multiple tasks as we add more diverse data to the training process. While not being perfect yet, and still a little slow, we're seeing increasingly high success rates with less frequent misses. We're also training Optimus to recover from failure cases and are seeing spontaneous corrections happen. We've deployed a couple of bots at one of our factories where they're being tested daily at the real workstations and continuously improving. Optimus also now regularly takes long walks across the office without falling. Further work is ongoing to make it move faster, as well as dealing with more adverse terrains, all without sacrificing the human-like nature of it. We're also focusing on repeatability across the fleet, training the neural net to deal with dynamic calibration and small bot-to-bot variants. More updates soon. Another update from within Tesla. We've improved the reliability of our learned behaviors across our fleet and decided to bring a few robots in the factory to perform a real useful task, sort batteries. The autonomous behavior you see below can run on the robot for hours until we need to recharge the battery. And now this from Jim Fan, Senior Research Manager and Lead of Embodied AI at NVIDIA. Congrats to Tesla Optimus team on another stellar update. The video gives us a peek at their human data collection farm, we saw that earlier, which I believe is Optimus's biggest lead. What does it take to build such a pipeline? Optimus nailed all of the following. Optimus hands are among the best 5-finger dexterous robot hands in the world. It's got tactile sensing, 11 degrees of freedom, compared to many competitors with only 6 to 7 degrees of freedom. By the way, just a quick update. Sorry to skip around, but Musk responded, the new Optimus hand later this year will have 22 degrees of freedom. Now, the real question is, will that be sufficient to reach superhuman handjob capability? That is the real milestone. And robustness to withstand lots of object interactions without constant maintenance. 2, teleoperations software. We can see that the human operators are wearing VR goggles and gloves. It is very non-trivial to set up the software to have a first-person video streamed in and precise control streamed out while maintaining extremely low latency. Humans are highly sensitive to even the smallest delay between their own motions and the robots. Shout out to anyone who's experienced lag, especially on a first-person shooter. Optimus has a fluid whole-body controller that enacts the human poses in real time. 3. And remember, this is coming from somebody at NVIDIA, describing Tesla's incredible progress and the fact that they have all the pieces of the puzzle. 3. The sizable fleet. You need more than one robot to collect data in parallel. Well-trained human contractors taking multiple shifts per day, preferably 24/7. And an on-call maintenance crew to make sure that the robots are always busy. That's a ton of operational complexity that academic research labs don't even think of. 4. Tasks and environments. It's equally important to figure out what to teleoperate. Currently, most such efforts are demo-driven, e.g. collect data on the tasks that you want to put into a social media video, e.g. Optimus sorting batteries, which we've just seen. But solving general-purpose robots requires us to think carefully about the distribution of tasks and environments. And he quotes a timestamp in the video, where we can see factory and household settings like moving batteries, handling laundry, sorting daily objects into shelves. It's an open-ended research question. If you only have the budget to collect training data for 1,000 tasks, what would you pick to maximize skill transfer and generalization? And a closing thought. Teleoperation is a necessary but insufficient condition to solve humanoid robotics. It fundamentally does not scale. That is true. This is why he's asking the question about what tasks would you pick to maximize skill transfer and generalization. I'll give you guys an example. You're all humans, I assume. Have a think about how many different objects you personally needed to pick up, handle, manipulate, hold, before you were able to transfer this skill to essentially any object without having to have practiced many hundreds or thousands of times on every different object. This is the crux of what he's getting at here. If you're training Optimus on sufficiently transferable tasks, you don't need to train it specifically on a trillion different objects. Once Optimus has sufficient capability in terms of picking up and manipulating different objects of different shapes and sizes, this skill will transfer. And again, we'll note different portions in this video. We can see Optimus here. The emphasis right now, the focus, we've got laundry, we've got shelving. What Tesla is doing right now is training their humanoid robot to manipulate essentially every variation of object. Not by training them specifically on 10 trillion different things, but picking the objects that are going to give a generalizable enough range of tasks that an Optimus in the future can look at any object just like we do, whether it's a remote control, a phone, a cup, a glass, a hat, an apple, a banana, a battery cell, a carrot, a glass, whatever it is, and without necessarily having been specifically trained on that object, be able to handle and manipulate it with grace and ease. Musk has also provided a bunch of updates on some of the discussion around this new Optimus video, confirming that the actuators will move almost entirely into the forearm, just like how humans work. If anyone's curious about this, just move your fingers up and down on one of your hands and watch what's happening with your forearm. Dr. Know-It-All responded to this. This is huge news and will make Optimus hands even more precise and compliant when picking up objects. Hands and brains are the most important aspects of humanoid bots, and seeing rapid improvements in both is very inspiring. The reason I share this is Musk liked this post from Dr. Know-It-All. So too this from Bradford Ferguson, who said, "This is exactly the job I said Tesla should start Optimus with. Battery pickup and place, especially at Giga Nevada. Imagine doing this boring, repetitive and stressful on-the-body job. Perfect match for Optimus. Optimus will allow Tesla to scale in existing factories." Musk also liked this from James Dowmer. "These changes will bring Optimus's hands closer to human capability. Matching human manual dexterity is important to the goal of substituting human labor." And again, this is really important. There are two components here: intelligence, the brain, and human manual dexterity, the hands. I'm not trolling when I say that Tesla really should be aiming for Optimus in theory to be capable of providing a superhuman hand job, because that is the ultimate test of manual human dexterity. If you know, you know. And Tesla owners Silicon Valley posted this, how it started versus how it's going. September 2022, the very first version, I believe Bumblebee was the name for this bad boy. Bit of a mess, off-the-shelf components. Cool demo, but clearly super early days. And now we have the update. A couple of years later, it's incredible. The rate of progress here is stunning. Not even 2 years from September 2022 to May 2024. Crazy rate of progress. Musk also liking this post, some guy with 3 first names just quoting something that was a caption on the actual video. "Optimus is now being tested at one of our factories with a continuously decreasing rate of human interventions." So, don't want to point out the obvious here, but if the rate of human interventions is continually decreasing, ready for it? Ready? That means that the rate of human interventions in the future is going to be less than it is today, and further into the future be even less, and at some point be close to zero. Now remember, in many jobs and tasks. Even humans require intervention from a manager or somebody at some point along the way. So the real threshold here is when are humanoid robots in Tesla factories at a point where they're a net positive for total productivity as opposed to a drag, needing a lot of handholding and human intervention. I think this is going to be sooner than a lot of people think. Which, by the way, pretty weird for just a car company to be showing incredible demos of a humanoid robot where others in the industry, working at even companies potentially competing with Tesla, are praising the progress, blown away, admiring what Tesla has done. Isn't that weird? So in closing, I highly recommend that everybody completely, totally, 100% absolutely ignore all of the possible implications of Tesla producing useful humanoid robots that over time become more useful, can add more value in a range of different situations, and also become increasingly, not only just increasingly dexterous, but also increasingly intelligent over time. Because it's not like the financial implications of creating intelligent, useful humanoid robots that increasingly become more useful, more dexterous, more intelligent over time would dwarf everything else in Tesla's sights and possibly massively scale the global economy. So you should definitely ignore that, like I do, which is why Tesla bots aren't in my Tesla valuation model, except they are. And into the distant future, holy fuck, these things just seriously make the rest of Tesla's business literally look like a rounding error. While we're on the topic of ignoring the totally insignificant implications of Tesla successfully scaling intelligent, useful, dexterous humanoid robots, I just thought I'd share this completely unrelated post from Elon Musk, in which he said, if current trends continue, robots will far outnumber humans. Go on, I dare you to do the math on that. I'm just kidding. It's not a big number anyway. Just ignore it. You won't regret that. Oh, and also, Musk posted this. I think the ratio of humanoid robots to humans will be at least 2 humanoid robots for every human, maybe 3 or 4, as there will be many in industry producing goods and services, often for other robots in the supply chain. So let's say Earth's population plateaus around 10 billion humans. What if there were 20 billion humanoid robots, or 30 billion, or 40 billion humanoid robots? And Tesla had produced a percentage of all of those humanoid robots, and every one of those humanoid robots still in operation was running software that required a monthly subscription, which was almost pure profit. If you think about that, you might understand why I've been buying Tesla stock still hand over fist with every spare cent, like an absolute psychopath. I'm just kidding. Ignore it. It's not a big opportunity. I'm definitely ignore it, please. Thanks. Bye. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. It's an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a fuck ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point and something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy. Wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely it's not that AG1, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it. You'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, Snake Oil Salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.